My husband gave me the silent treatment for getting an income that's over triple his. I snooped through his iPad only to find out about a plan he's been hiding from me, and now I got back home from work early to catch him in the middle of the act. I've really been wanting to get into gaming, so I invested in computer parts costing around $1,500. Once I took the parts out of the box, my husband noticed the receipt, and he asked how I could be so irresponsible with my money. He assumed I still made the same amount, but when I told him that I made triple that amount, he began giving me the silent treatment. During this time, I began to notice my things were going missing. I wanted to go fishing with some friends one time, and when I was looking for my rods, he must have noticed and said he had given them to his uncle. I told him not to take my stuff without asking, but I didn't mind too much because they were old, so I just bought some more. Another time, I was about to go to the gym, and I was looking for my pre-workout. I always keep 3 jars, yet each one of them were missing. I luckily had a can of Monster, and that helped. I asked my husband about them when he got home from work, and he said he gave them to his cousin. I asked him to reimburse me because they cost $50 a jar. He said I made enough to replace them, and just ignored me for the rest of the day. One day, when he thought I was asleep, he was talking to someone on the phone explaining how he's going to move my parents into our house. He hadn't explained this to me. We only have 3 rooms. One is his office, one is my office and game room, and the other is our bedroom. He told the person on the phone, who I assume is his sister, that he's going to give my gaming setup to his brother to make room, and that I'll get over it eventually. So today, I left work early to catch him in the middle of his plans. And when I walked into our apartment, he and his brother were placing everything into a box. I asked what was going on, and my husband, whose face was pale, said he was cleaning when his sister came by. I asked her if she planned on taking my computer. Of course, she denied. So I went in the room to get the iPad we share. I looked through the texts on there, and it clearly shows my husband telling her when to pick it up and to deny that she had it. I told her to get out and asked him why he thinks he's so entitled to my stuff. I have never yelled at him, and I guess this scared him because he began to cry. He ended up packing a bag and went to stay with his brother. While he was out, I picked up a lock for my office. His brother texted me calling me a jerk. I am beginning to think I could have handled this better, and I'm looking for advice. After about a week staying at his brother's house, Tom called me and asked if we could meet up. I agreed, and we met at a park. He apologized for everything and said he thought he was doing what was best for everybody. I asked what if I just gave his own expensive tools to my brother? He admitted that he would be upset. I then asked why he thought it would be any different for me. He didn't have a reason, and his brother told him how unfair he was being to me. We decided to give things another chance, and he moved back in. It was going well until he started moving his things into my office. I asked him what he was doing, and he explained how he needed the room for his parents. I told him no, and that's not happening. I grabbed his things and placed them back into his office. I told him that they could move in, but my space has to remain untouched. On top of that, we need to determine how bills are going to be paid. He called me a selfish jerk and then ran back to his brother's. I guess his brother told him he was being inconsiderate once again. And apparently, they got into an argument because the brother refuses to take their parents in, and said he's tired of hearing about his problems. I agree with him. His brother has 4 kids. His brother called and told me everything, and said that Tom went to his parents' house. I tried to call him, but he ignored my phone calls for 2 weeks. I decided I couldn't live like this, so I filed for divorce and handed it to him at his parents' house. He called and begged me to forgive him. I told him I'm not sure if I can. He refused to sign it until we went to counseling. I refused and said he had 2 weeks to suggest that. So now, I live alone. He still refuses to sign the papers, but that doesn't stop the divorce. It just makes it harder.